Hello, and welcome back to Doomed. Not-so-solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. It's part 2 of Scenario 4 of Cyclopean Foundations, a fan-made campaign for Arkham Horror the card game, and we have 2 investigators moving through the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia. Daisy Walker and Joe Diamond. And that means, of course, that I am joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello, the Crosshair. How goes?
It goes. It's well, let's see, what day is it? Well, it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday?
Apparently.
That's the the test. You passed the test.
Yeah, nothing special, nothing new.
Yeah, no, I'm also just using today to get various bits of work done, and including the work of cleaning up a conspiracy. That's right, in Arkham Horror the card game. That's what we're up to today. As always, of course, we'll do a little sum up of where we got to in the scenario so far before we dive back in, which is both for you, the audience, story-wise, but also for me, the player, to know what treacheries are on the board. I honestly don't remember these things, so there you go. Yep, there it is. We have Methodiel here as well. Methodiel, hello and welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I don't really think I have any other orders of business to spite other than just jumping back in, Crosshare.
Yep.
Yep. Something's going on. So, in terms of our Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was trying to read and talk at the same time.
Oh, that's always a bit tricky. Unless you're reading out loud, and then it's generally pretty good. Generally. Not always.
Investigators at
You can't see me, but I am face-palming.
Roy's location canon. Okay.
I like location as I don't know, some sort of Greek god or something. The god of space. Location.
Tentacles.
Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Okay.
Make an Arkham scenario about ancient Greek gods.
I think that could actually work out quite well. There's a standalone scenario that I've never played called War of the Outer Gods, like an official one, where my understanding, although I haven't played it, is that it's meant to be played with lots of people. You know, it's one of those standalones that's you can play up to 4, but then you can play multiple instances in the same room so that everyone's kind of playing the game at the same time. But that the scenario features 3 different encounter sets, and each of them is a different army serving a different elder god. And I think the investigators are trying to basically hold all of them off at the same time while they go to war with each other. It sounds insane. Yeah, that's it.
Is what we do.
Exactly. Hello to you, Aragwen, and good morning. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I am joined today by the Crosshair.
Morning has broken again. Hello.
Oh man, we're going for face palms per minute. It's gonna be good.
Yep, pretty good.
We have indeed, Aragwen. It's time to slither out early. Okay. Let's recap here. Daisy and Joe hopped a train after getting shot outside James Wycliffe's mansion in French Hill in Arkham. They hopped a train because they figured out what group of people must be behind this big old... Oh, and Weirdness is here. Weirdness, hello. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I'm joined today by the Crosshair. Hello. And Mistrich is here. Mistrich, hello. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Okay, good. Okay, that's it. No more greetings. I'm just kidding.
Anyone else?
Anyone else? Make your presence known. So, Daisy and Joe realized that James Wycliffe was a member of the Freemasons, and therefore the Freemasons, being a stoneworking group, but also a group with a lot of power and connections, probably were behind the conspiracy to do with this strange stonework artifacts from Greece. We don't know anything about it yet. They hopped the train and made their way to Philadelphia to the Grand Masonic Lodge there, where they hope to uncover the identity of various traitors high-placed within the Masons. They started outside, basically kind of gearing up, getting ready, getting all of their various properties ready. They made their way inside and convinced Luther Lynch, who is the Freemason sort of warden guard, that he should help them uncover the traitors within the branch. Since then, they've been making their way upstairs through a couple of the different halls, downstairs through the offices, and trying to uncover traitors. They did indeed manage to find enough information in the Corinthian Hall and in the offices to unmask one traitor, the Hector Sutton, who was the deputy Grand Master. Yeah, he was sort of pulling various sleeper agents to himself, and was indeed a conspirator. They managed to blow his brains out on the grand staircase, and are now back to square one, as it were, searching for more traitors. I'm just reminding myself here. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Crosshare, sorry.
Yeah, I swear it's gonna be Paul Kellerman and Glenn Conray because they look shifty.
Ah, it's the shiftiest ones. Got it. Well, the treasurer makes sense.
And secretary and the deputy master weighing the grand master's position. And...
trying to sort of backstab the grand master of the lodge. Excuse me. So, in terms of what we have in play going on here, I just want to make sure I've kind of done what we need to do. We're in the middle of the investigation phase. Daisy has a couple actions left. It's Agenda 2A, 4 out of 5 Doom. There's a forced effect on the agenda that when a traitor enemy would leave play without being defeated, Doom on it goes to the agenda. Not good, but that's fine. Next to the agenda deck, there's a card that says Forced. When an investigator would discard any number of cards from his or her deck, discard an additional card. So that's sort of the interference with the atmosphere being created by these traitors. The Act 3A, next in line, tells us that we need to spend 6 clues as a group to draw the top card of the traitor deck, put it into play at the location of the same story asset, yada yada, flip it over, do the thing. And then the objective is, if a traitor enemy leaves play, you must advance.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that the next act is going to be spend 6 clues as a group.
I think so too. We've got a traitor deck with 2 traitors in it, although we don't know who they are. Mysterious.
And also, we do have a resign on board, so...
That's very true. We can run out the front door of Broad Street if we need to.
Rather than getting shot again.
Right, sure, yeah, which we may have to, but maybe not. We'll see. In terms of other things on the board, there's some hyperbolic sigils up at the Corinthian Hall, which is giving the Corinthian Hall a non-Euclidean text. But that only matters if we leave the Corinthian Hall, and hopefully we never have to go back to the Corinthian Hall.
Unless Paul Kellerman is the traitor.
Naturally. As
they probably hunt anyway, so...
Right, but as you've already predicted. Lara, buddy, it's not a jungle gym, it's a bookshelf. Oh boy.
Hello, lady.
If you hear a massive crash, I'll go to a BRB screen and you'll all know why. Also on the board right now, Joe Diamond has a couple of treacheries in his threat area. Impossible Perspectives. Reducing his maximum hand size by 2 each, meaning his maximum hand size is currently 4. There's a forced effect. After you discard 2 or more cards during upkeep, discard Impossible Perspective. So if he ever goes way over his reduced hand size, he can get rid of them. But it's just trying to get us to discard cards. Mistrich, this is our newest Chaos Cat, Little Lara. She's little, sleek, blue-gray. She's not yet been fixed, so she is very energetic and loves crawling around in places she shouldn't be. Right, Lara?
Yeah. Lara Croft.
Lara Croft, exactly. If I could grab her, I would, Mistrich. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Lara, please. Oh, God. Okay.
About mayhem.
I'm trying not to look up at what she's doing, because I'm sure that's a good idea. Otherwise, we both also have a bunch of tools, tomes, allies, various things out and about, which we will describe as we go. I think that I caught everything, Crosshair. We know where we're at. We know what we're doing. Are we ready to jump back in?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get doomed. It's all you.
Once again, we return to last week.
Doodly-doodly-doodly-doo.
Okay, as my first action was to play the ancient stone that heals horror anytime I draw cards, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Ancient stone.
Only I like to call Lara Cobalt Blue.
Delicious.
Because cobalt is a cool sounding word.
Cool word.
So.
Cool word. Cool color.
So, right. As a second action, after investigating the dreams and all of her knowledge going through her deck once, let's feed the mind.
Daisy just sitting there reading books in the lobby.
Yeah. And as my last action, we're gonna exhaust, feed the mind, and try to draw cards. And I'll... 1 against 5. I guess I'll throw Essence of the Dream into it.
Because you're going to be gaining that back next turn.
Yeah. I'm not engaged with an enemy currently. So it's just a 7-on-1.
Just.
No traitor enemy, so that's a success of 5. Which means I can remove draw 3 cards. Okay. Yep. And I'll use 3 charges from the stone to heal Joe.
Hey!
Joe's horror. Like, look at this stone. It'll make sense, and Joe feels mentally better.
Joe's been suffering a lot from the warping of stonework. You know, this sort of forced perspective thing that's been destroying his perspective of space and time. And seeing this solid hunk of rock not moving and shifting does indeed bring him back some degree of sanity.
That's me.
Okay. Well, so that's the end of the investigation phase. At the beginning of the enemy phase, our good friend Luther Lynch can move to our location, which I think he'll, trundle back down the stairs. And kind of nod, like, yeah, we got him, but there's going to be more. He's shaking his head, disappointed in the fact that Hector is a traitor. And then we move on to upkeep.
Yeah. And in upkeep, I draw 2 cards. Even if I have to throw one away, I'm gonna use 2 charges from the stone to heal 2 horror from myself.
Excellent.
Come on. There we go. I was at 5. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you're good.
Then I have to throw something away. Yeah. Throw that away. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in hand. Cool.
Which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is your current maximum hand size. Excellent job, Daisy.
Compared to
4.
4.
That's correct. Whee! Daisy and Joe are regrouping at the stairwell, ready to hunt into the rest of the lodge. They haven't even been back sort of on the main floor yet. But before they can, we go to 5 out of 5 Doom and advance to Agenda 2B, Profane Prayers. If there are 2 or more cards in the traitor deck, whispers part the still air of the temple. They are not uttered in any language devised by human minds and send goosebumps over your skin at the very sound of their syllables. Now you begin to see the deeper source of this madness. Move this card next to the agenda deck. While it is next to the agenda deck, it gains Forced. It's got the same forced effect. When an investigator would discard any number of cards from his or her hand, sorry, this is different.
Oh.
That investigator discards an additional card.
Oh.
Yeah, now, I will say discarding is different from,
First learning discards a card.
Yes, it does. And although the extra discard doesn't have to be, it can be any card in your hand, at least.
Any card, yeah. It's not that bad. It just means that I draw 2 with forced learning, then I discard one of those, and then I discard 1 extra.
And then yeah, that's very true. And then of course, any other effects that discard cards would do the same. Although things like committing cards, playing cards, obviously that doesn't count. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look then at Agenda 3A, Rapid Erosion. While many of the infiltrators attack you outright, the important members are finishing their preparations to evade you. If you don't finish unmasking these traitors soon, they will escape and leave little for you to trace them. It has the same forced effect, and it's got 5 Doom. The strange kind of like whisper vibrations throughout this temple are sending shivers down Daisy and Joe's spine, warping their minds as we draw our encounter cards. What happens in the stairwell?
There's a lucid worshipper. We've seen one of these hunters before.
Ugh.
It's a 3/3/3 humanoid occultist. While you are engaged with lucid worshipper and any amount of known weakness cards, enter your discard pile, remove one of those cards from the game. Okay. After a lucid worshipper attacks you, discard the top card of your deck. Oh, right. It's engaged with me.
He's run out probably of the main hall trying to stop us. While, Joe draws a hidden card.
Oh dear.
So something has, this lucid worshipper has brought with him something that is panicking Joe or freaking Joe out. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to reveal the top card of my hunch deck. Sweet. Free fast clue if I can get somewhere with a clue. Which I'll definitely take.
Yeah. That's a 5. That's 1. Yeah, we do need to find more areas as well.
Yeah, we're at 4 out of the 6 clues that we need for another traitor, but we've got some more pressing issues to deal with, I think.
I think this lucid worshipper will get a face full of... Essence of the Dream.
Okay.
Face full of strange solution. Some acidic ichor. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. We get rid of it and we can do other things.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. It's the best solution. Best solution is the strange solution.
Always a good point.
Fight at the base level of 6 against 3. Essence of the Dream.
Very good. And it does not enter your discard pile, so the lucid worshipper doesn't suck it away from you. It's the essence of the dream. It's not like a thing that you're,
Yeah, and thanks to the dream diary, it gets 4 question marks. So
Excellent.
That's 10 against 3.
The dreams of a madman. Classic Daisy Walker.
Yeah, that's pop a bottle open and there we go.
And hiss hiss.
Hiss
Melted.
melting into a pile. I don't have a freedom charge currently. No. I also don't have 2 tones. I just have. Let's just.
Yep, you got a stone and a diary. As you do.
Oh, right, but it's a hand slot anyway. Right, what do we need to do?
You had mentioned wanting to, swig some absinthe, but if we don't think that's necessary, we can move on and try to get more clues.
I think I'll first move on and then see if I'll grab some absinthe. You're fine currently, health-wise.
Yeah.
He says, waiting for next turn.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Daisy will saunter along to... Do I want to clear the Renaissance Hall or do we want to explore the rest of the places?
It might be... I realize there's clues there, or a victory point, which is nice, but I imagine the other locations may as well have, and they might be easier to get.
Right, so Daisy saunters off to the Grand Banqueting Hall. She's feeling a little peckish.
After the absinthe? Or, sorry, not yet, my apologies. She just has it.
Meeting Glenn Conroy. An enormous statue of Benjamin Franklin stands on a pedestal at the back of the banqueting hall. What a sentence. With his role as an early Grand Master of the Lodge, it is easy to see why the Masonic Order would be proud to immortalize him in bronze. 2 clue to Shroud location, and Glenn Conroy demands tribute every time you're here. So,
that's right.
Investigator at Glenn Conroy's location cannot gain more than 1 resource during the investigation phase. The Grand Treasurer keeps a close watch on all financial and logistical matters within the Lodge. These resources could be dangerous if turned against you. Hello.
I imagine he's chowing down as well, just being fed a massive banquet of steak and potatoes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Daisy is just looking around. Right. If I do pop some absinthe, I'll get to 1-3 health, which is not bad. And I can use the following turns to do more stuff. I could get the clue. This is probably the lowest clue location there is, so Daisy could also just move along.
That's true.
No, I'm gonna play it safe and use some absinthe to heal some damage.
Glug, 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 glug.
So heal 2 damage. That looks much nicer.
I don't disagree. And there's a nice little 3-1-1-3 happening across our stats now, which is, well, damage and horror, not the actual stats, but it's nice. There's something about it.
Yeah. On to Joe.
Joe has finished, brushing the dirt and gunk off of his Colts after having essentially assassinated Hector Sutton, who was trying to escape through a strange portal. I am also going to explore a bit. I have the ability to try to grab some clues. I want to use working a hunch if I can, but I think I'd like to try to get that at a high shroud location, if I can. Something like...
Oh, right.
So, yeah, Joe is also going to move once, move twice before I do anything else here. I'll just point out Grand Banqueting Hall has a non-Euclidean ability, so it fires because I've moved out of the location. It says move an unengaged non-elite enemy once towards you. Now there are... And then if it engages you before completing the movement, it does not attack. That's nice. But there are no enemies on the board. So nothing happens. But I think the hall is sort of a hub for the lodge, so people can kind of see and hear when you run through it, basically. I'll point out, this is a historical kind of fiction game. I'm not a fan of the word Oriental, obviously, for the implications, but I'm going to say it because it's what's on the card. And it's presumably the name of the hall in the Grand Masonic Lodge. Joe makes his way past Glen Conroy and through into the Oriental Hall, one of the most often used for ceremonies and events, which is interesting. At the hall, Wallace Thorpe, Senior Grand Warden. Few men in the Grand Lodge are as somber and tight-lipped as the Senior Grand Warden. Is he a recluse by nature, or a bearer of forbidden knowledge? The Persian style of architecture lends the room a mystique of sacred and ancient times. Many such details could be hidden in the beautiful designs in the upper arches. It's got 5 shroud, 4 clues, victory 1. Similar to the halls upstairs, it has a special ability on it. When you're investigating it, for the purposes of counting icons committed to the skill test, agility icons count, and intellect icons count double.
Yeah. And it gets +1 shroud.
And it gets +1 shroud, absolutely, because of Wallace Thorpe. He's essentially hiding everything there. However, I'm going to work a hunch, which is fast and free.
Yeah.
I'm just going to snag a clue right away, which is no bad thing.
Don't take all of them.
I will not take all of them. I cannot. That would be nice, but... I am, however...
I have a plan.
You have a plan. Good. I like the sounds of that. Joe is, of course, looking around here. He's, again, continuing to investigate the various halls for signs of ritual behavior, right? Various things. Oh, yes, of course you can, Aragwen. Feel
More
free.
tedious the better.
Yeah, well, hang on. I think there's a baseline of tedium that I will not tolerate, but that's okay. But yeah, please do. And in the meantime... Oh, and make sure to unmute the tab, Aragwen. Just kidding. Aragwen and I had a little back and forth on Tuesday that I thought was pretty funny. I am going to, last action, investigate this location. I have 4 intellect, 6 with a couple of magnifying glasses, and I am going to commit a card to this test, which has an intellect and an agility icon on it. So that's +3 because of the ability on the thing. So that takes me up to 6, 7, 8, 9 to 6. Still wild, but, we're doing our best here. All right, Joe. Get me some clues. All right.
Nice.
Joe manages to find a detail in one of the arches up top that sort of catches his eye.
We could advance, but let's not just yet.
Yes, I agree with that, Crosshair. Aragwen asks, can you give me a quick summary of the gameplay so far today? I had to do some other work, and without focusing, it's just static and arcane mumbling. Much like how it is for us. Oh, cats are doing something.
Yeah, I can actually do a quick summary.
Yeah, the gameplay so far today.
We both started at the Grand Staircase. Daisy used her 2 actions to heal horror from Joe by putting Feed the Mind into play and drawing cards, which triggers the Ancient Stone, which heals horror. Then in the upkeep, it triggered again through Daisy's upkeep draw and healed horror from Daisy. Then we got an enemy and some stuff, and we moved on to Grand Banqueting Hall and Oriental Hall, and Daisy chucked some absinthe to heal herself, and Joe found a couple of clues.
The summary.
That's about it.
Oh, I have to reveal something. Sorry, I didn't. I thought it was the end of the round, not the end of the turn. Joe, you're very welcome, Aragwen. Thank you, Crosshair, for the summary. This is the lucid dreamer, lucid worshipper, the cultist that had, that was currently is now a puddle of goo on the floor. Brought with it a vision for Joe, some grotesque hallucinations. I've ended my turn at a location with a shroud value of 3 or higher. I have to discard a card at random from my hand. I only have 1, so I will. There's an effect that when I discard a card from my hand, I have to discard an additional card. I have no others, so I can't. Very Agatha Christie. Yes. I'm just not playing with cards, Crosshair. That's the game. The game for me is no hand. No hand, Joe. Sorry, lots of hand, no fingers, I think is what it was.
I think next turn will be good, unless something screws it up.
Yeah, well, will be good to look into one of the traitors for sure. I think that would be good. It is the enemy phase, which means Luther Lynch, the warden, can come with one of us. Who is more likely to need support from him?
Joe, I'm gonna be coming to the Oriental Hall to get the last of the clues anyway, so...
Beaut. Then we'll put Luther there. That sounds good to me. And then that brings us on to Upkeep. Joe and Daisy separated for now. Ooh, I'd love to play this. That would be nice. All right, let's see what the discarding situation is over here for Daisy.
I'm gonna throw away preposterous sketches because of forced learning, and then I have to throw away something. I'll throw away Feed the Mind because of the agenda.
Yes, I'll point out you drew 2 cards if you want to use the last 2 charges from Ancient Stone, but it is a reaction, so you don't have to. Right, it's a choice.
Might as well. Yeah.
Bye.
Drop those. Well, it stays in play anyway.
The stone is simply uncharged, as it were. Yeah.
That looks nice.
Yeah, it's helping. It's helping Daisy out there. Oh, I'm so excited to play that. Okay.
Yeah. This is good. This is good.
Okay.
Just no whammies, thank you.
Yeah, please. We go to 1 out of 5 doom. Daisy in the banqueting hall making her way down in pursuit of Joe. Joe trying to find the secrets of the Persian-inspired architecture in the hall, looking for a traitor. But of course we draw encounter cards first.
Asian Hall.
Yes, let's do that instead. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's at least appropriate in another way. But yeah, let's see what happens at the banqueting hall. There's a cornered rat. Cultist enemy in play. There's no cultist enemy in play. Surge.
Okay.
But insular suspect into play next to the agenda deck as an additional cost to investigate, play a card that discovers clues or activate an ability or effect that discovers clues, spend 1 resource. If there is a Freemason story asset at your location, parlay, and you can discard.
Try to get rid of it, yeah. So that might just mean that we don't get a lot of resources anymore, or maybe we try to deal with it. It's a possible.
It's only 1.
The Mad Architect, however, this is someone who is we've seen one of these guys before. He's attempting, well, he's part of the sort of cultists' plans to build strange geometry. Oh, bah. Aragwen, that's hilarious. Have you tried not yawning at your phone? No, that's very funny, actually. Okay, Mad Architect. He's a lunatic cultist conspirator. He spawns at the location connected to the most other locations without another Mad Architect. He's aloof, doesn't automatically engage. Locations connected to his gain non-Euclidean, place a doom on him.
Yep. grand banqueting hall or grand staircase?
I'm thinking if I do the grand banqueting hall, he's aloof, so he doesn't engage you.
Ah, true.
And then moving out of his location doesn't... Oh, actually, hang on. Non-Euclidean, move an unengaged non-elite enemy once towards you. Oh, that's fine. That wouldn't do anything, though, if he's here.
Oh, it will. If I move to the Asian Hall, the Mad Architect would move with me. Because of the Grand Banqueting Hall.
We move it once towards you. But he's still aloof. He doesn't engage. So that's okay.
Yeah,
and then he'll be at my location, and I can try to punch him if you want.
Yeah, and this location doesn't have the... Mad Architect isn't connected to this location, I believe.
That's right. So I think he's...
Connected to Market, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I think... I think that sounds right. If you were to move, he'd follow you, but not engage you, and it wouldn't fire his non-Euclidean either, because you're not at a connected location to him at that time.
Yeah.
Nice and confusing.
This doesn't change my plan, so cool.
Cool. Logical reasoning, which heals horror or gets rid of a terror card, but I don't have any terror cards, so I might just let that go.
No terror, no tarot. If you don't mind, I would like to start.
Of course. Daisy's got to leave that banqueting hall or whatever she's doing.
Yep. First off, Essence of the Dream goes into my enormous hand.
Massive, yeah.
And Daisy is just gonna coax the mad scientist to the Asian Hall as well.
He's following her and cackling, sort of spouting language that seems to vibrate the very air itself, but does not sound like human language.
Right then. 2 clues here. Let's get 2 clues.
Let's get 2 clues. That sounds like a plan. It's the...
So I think this is a big thing for the scenario, so I'm gonna just spend a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the Insular Suspects is in play, as well as the card next to the agenda deck. I'm just... oh, no, that's when you discard cards. That's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, Insular Suspects, investigating, playing a card that discovers clues, or doing a thing that discovers clues requires you to spend a resource.
Yeah.
Maybe no big deal.
Oh, that applies to all the cards.
All the cards. I'm not sure what you mean.
Calculating. I have 4 resources. So if I play a clue-getting card plus investigate, that's 2 resources.
Correct, yeah. That would be 1 action to investigate, 1 action to get a clue from a card. Yep, you're right.
It's still good, good. So let's investigate the hall while Wallace Thorpe is watching.
Ooh.
She's just gonna do her usual thing of explaining to Wallace everything he already knows, but in more detail. As she does. 5 against 6. Okay.
Yikes. Yuck.
How about... Eight against 6.
Oh, yeah. Curiosity, very nice. +3 intellect. That's quite nice.
8 against 6 isn't quite enough, so let's throw Essence of the Dream into it. That's 10 against 6.
Great.
Okay.
Ooh.
Draw 1 card for each tome you control. Sadly, that's 1.
Well, I mean, still a card draw. That's no bad thing.
Yeah. Still a draw and still a clue.
Yay.
Now then,
Thanks,
what
Daisy.
was it? Agility icons. Oh, right. the book icons
Oh.
are double.
Yeah. So those wild icons
no.
were yeah. So you were way over.
Yeah. So let's investigate again. That's 5 on 6.
Okay. Don't forget to spend your resources for the insular suspects, because they're,
Oh right.
that's being spooky, I guess.
Yeah.
They're hiding the truth from us. That's what's happening here.
5 against 6. Lab assistant. That's 7 against 6. One item, one agility icon from the dream diary. That's 8 against 6. Forbidden Dome.
Oh boy.
That's 7 against 6.
9. You were at 8, I think.
5. Oh yeah, that's double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 7, 8. And question marks only count as any icon.
I think, yeah, they count as matching, but I don't think they count as double matching or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 9 against 6.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite there yet.
Pretty good.
Parallel fates.
Okay.
10 against 6. And I paid my other.
You paid your dues, yeah, as it were.
Thank you. Now then, that succeeds. I get the last clue. I'll play Crack the Case.
Oh!
Which is 6.
We're cracking the case
And
here
great.
in the Asian Hall, yeah?
You're not in dire need of resources.
No, I would take 1 or 2 if if you don't need them, but otherwise you can have as many as you want.
I take 1. I'll take 5.
Sounds good.
Because then I'm gonna spend 4 of those to connect the dots.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
pay
you're
1 resource.
after
for it.
after. Yeah, you cracked the after. Cracked the case. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so as well. I'm actually not sure, because it's like, in theory they both kind of get played after, but you couldn't play the connect the dots until you've played the crack the case, but you're playing them both at the same time. I don't know. It feels I'm okay with it. I assume it works.
Yeah, basically like
You've chosen the order in which they fire.
yeah, they go into stack. So
Yeah,
to say.
that'd be my thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I paid the 1 cost from the insular suspects.
Oh god, yeah, of course that too. Yeah.
I would have still had the resources for it though. I had 4 resources, but oh right, I would have been down to 2. But anyway, I think that's cool.
I think it's cool too. So connect the dots allows the literal mad woman Daisy to put together a couple of things and gain 2 clues from a lower printed shroud value than your location.
Yeah, it would be the Grand Banqueting Hall or printed cost. It can't be the Renaissance Hall.
A lower printed shroud value than your location. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
So it's gonna be the banqueting clues then.
Hey man, that's 2 clues that we didn't have before. That's great for me.
That's 10 clues altogether.
Excellent.
Need 2 more.
Which means I think we're at a point where we can start popping out these traitors as well. But let's see how it kind of continues to roll off the tongue here, as it were.
Yeah, I could check if you can stack fast things.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being played this way, but like, if you feel free, I think that makes sense to me if we want to check kind of how abilities work and so on. There's probably something to do with like ability costs and all of that.
while you do your thing.
I will do my thing. Because Joe can see that Daisy has managed to sort of put, like, interviewing Wallace Thorpe, a lot of dots are starting to be connected for her. She's starting to figure things out. But there is a man in the corner doing nothing but cackling and fiddling with a strange device on his back. Joe can't have that. He has to deal with it. The first thing he's going to do, though, is note to himself how well prepared he is. He's going to pat himself on the back. This is, you know, Joe's preparations, his gearing up, his paranoia. All of this is paying off. No bad thing. Second action, I'm going to engage the Mad Architect. And then third action, we're going to thump him in the head. Or I could handcuff him. Is that a better idea? I could just kill him too. Yeah, I'm just going to kill him. Save the handcuffs for someone who really needs them, you know? Joe has 4 combat, and I'm going to use well prepared to add 2 more combat to that from the Colts. So essentially, seeing the man sort of fiddling with a strange device on his back, Joe is going to navigate around behind him and then use the weight of the pack to tip him over and knock him out. Anyway, it takes me up to 5, 6, 7 to 2. All right. Dead or destroyed, Mad Architect. Basically, Aragorn, yeah. I am very well prepared. Boom! Just like that.
As I check the ancient tome of Ready, and I play both copies of Crack the Case at the same time. You can play as many events as you want in the same window if they all meet the same trigger condition. So you can, for example, play 2 copies of Lucky to get +4, play Glory, which draws a Glory and evidence, playing both, play 2, look what I found, and I'll live and learn after failing by 2.
Okay. Okay, so you can play the same two fast things that meet the same trigger, which is good.
Yeah. You can't play, for example, Cryptic Research to draw into Look What I Found after you have just revealed a token causing you to fail an investigation.
Okay. Right, because then you resolved one effect before you actually had the other card to play.
Yeah, so the last clue getting can trigger Crack the Case and then connect the dots.
And then, yeah, I guess my only question is costs, right? Like, you weren't able to pay the cost of connect the dots until you cracked the case, but that still seems okay to me because it's not like you're not playing Crack the Case, you're getting ready to.
Yeah, and you do play cards one at a time, even if they have the same fast window. So I played Crack the Case, which gave the resources, and then I played in the same window, but the card gave me the resources before that window closes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense to me. I think this is good. Plus, the mad scientist has been knocked out for now, and we have definitely uncovered enough evidence to unearth another traitor, which is good, which we'll probably want to get onto. Joe's grotesque hallucinations continue to plague him, but I don't have any cards to discard, so back in the hand it goes.
That only cost me 7 cards.
Yeah,
round.
it is pretty wild. Yeah, super wild. But we did get 4 clues, so that's good.
Yeah, true.
So then, yeah, that's it for no enemies on the board. We move straight on to upkeep, where we draw our cards, gain our resources, ready any cards that are necessary. That's good. I'll be using that.
Throwing Arcane Indictment away and throwing, because then I have to throw something away.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna throw logical reasoning away. We don't need logical reasoning here.
No, not in this place of strange architecture and uncovering of traitors. I mean, plus we don't have too much horror, so that's good. The world around Daisy and Joe continues to erode, but exactly, Aragwen, who? Us? Logical? Come on. The world around them continues to erode as the cultists progress whatever strange plan they have as we go to 2 out of 5 Doom. And we draw some encounter cards.
Now that we've had a great plan and great turn, let's see how Arkham decides to screw us over.
Well, that's the game, right? That is the game. Exactly what I said. Yet.
Dimensional fold. Test agility X, where X is the shroud value of your location, which is 6.
Sorry.
If you fail, take 1 damage and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If you fail by 2 or more, draw each weakness discarded. Well, I think I'm gonna fail by 2 or more.
I think so too.
Takes on 2. Daisy is gonna stumble on some dimensional fold. Oh, who put that there?
And just like pulled into it somehow, yeah.
It's a 0. But discard the top 3 cards, which means that I'm gonna be discarding an additional card.
That's right. And taking a damage as well.
And that's gonna be the extra discard.
And they don't get removed from the game or anything. They just kind of disappear. Too bad about denying existence. That's always nice to have. Daisy being pulled into a fold in the dimension itself. Oh no! Joe's got more strange hidden things. I feel like this has been great for Joe. His mind has been so warped by the strange geometry that these artifacts caused. It's doing nothing but absolutely, destroying the inner workings of his mind. It just gets added to my hand. And we go to the investigation phase. I might suggest that we, do a thing where we spend our clues and start hunting down a traitor.
That no stone unturned seems really nice as well.
It does, yeah. I definitely will. I'd like to play it if I can. Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Oh, okay. You're good.
I'm gonna draw the top 6 cards of my deck anyway, so.
That's actually a good point, yeah. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Should we do the thing where we try to figure out who the other next traitor is, or?
Yep, and then see what we're gonna do, because it might be Wallace.
That's right. Yeah, it's true, which would be, anyway, so yeah. 3 each? Sounds good to me.
3 each, yep.
All right. What have they uncovered? So, spend 6 clues as a group. Draw the top card of the traitor deck. Put it into play at the location of the story asset with the same name. Flip that story asset over. And go to the other side. Well. If it isn't Glenn Conroy, the keeper of relics. The traitorous treasurer. Glenn Conroy pulls a jeweled knife from inside his blazer. Oh shit, and raises it threateningly as he backs away. Amid the standoff, he barks to his nearby minions to retrieve hidden caches of valuable weapons and artifacts scattered around the building. His preparations will be a problem. So, it's got the same forced effect as our previous traitor. It goes next to the agenda deck. At the end of the round, he gets a resource on this card. If there are 2 resources on this card, remove him and this card from the game. Essentially, he gets 2 turns to try to, survive.
Yeah, he won't.
Glenn Conroy himself is an aloof hunter. He's aloof, of course, because he's using his minions to try to, surround him as he tries to get away. Each other non-weakness enemy at his location and connecting location, get +1 fight and deal +1 damage. Because he's, I guess, charismatic, or is somehow hyping them up. Or maybe it's the relics he's holding. Anyway, he's a 2/4/2.
Yeah. I have one more strange solution thing. So that's possible 3 damage, but then again, Joe might be just... Oh, you only have one shot.
Yeah. Which is not ideal, but it's something. I could start working on Glenn. I probably can't do enough. Well, no, I probably can't do enough to kill him in 1 round. But...
But if you engage him, then I can come and toss some acid if need be.
Yeah. So should I... Well, let me ask you. Should I try to only do 1 damage so that it's like the most efficient use of that acid, or... Because then...
Yeah, I think so, because it's either gonna hit or not, so...
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I think that's true. So, seeing, of course, Glenn drawing his jeweled dagger and trying to make for the exit, Joe shouts out, "No, you don't!" and rushes back into the banqueting hall, trying to dive tackle Glenn Conroy. So move, engage. Last action, we're gonna fight. I'm just gonna punch him. No need to use a Colt on such a dolt. Pun intended. I'm going to commit... It's true, Aragwen. It's true. It's just the best you can do. I'm gonna take the initiative. It loses a wild for each action that's been completed this phase, so it only has 1 wild icon. That's fine. 4, 5, 6 combat. And I'll exhaust well prepared to give myself another 2. Take me up to 8/2. Joe is... Well, he's seizing the initiative to try to get this guy on the ground and stop him from being able to get away. Cultist, which is -4 if there's a traitor in play, but that's still enough to succeed. 1 damage. And he manages to pin him to the ground.
Daisy will be following right after. We're digging around in her bag for something. As she follows into the grand banqueting hall and tosses a strange solution. Well, acid.
Joe, move! Whoa, he rolls off as the acid splashes towards him. Oh, God.
At Glenn Conroy. So I'm at 6/2.
I'm not going to update the token arranger.
Well, yeah, 6/2 is as good as it gets, really.
Whoops. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, go ahead. I was just updating them for now, but that's my mistake. 6/2 is pretty good. I agree.
Yeah, I think that's as good as it can get for a fight action.
As good as it gets.
So Daisy comes in like a baseball player and, "Oh, Joe, get down!"
Fastball special! Like, I mean, hopefully.
Have a drink on me.
Oh, no!
Of course.
the acid. I don't know. Does Glenn's knife maybe deflect the acid bottle into Joe's face?
Yeah.
Joe shouts and screams in pain as the acid begins to melt away his face. It's 3 damage. I'm gonna
3 damage.
put it all on me because I don't want to lose my dog or my bandolier, as it were. Ow.
Yeah, and
Ow.
this is oopsie poopsie.
Oh, oopsie poopsie. As you do.
Have some absinthe.
Oh, thanks. Deal 3 damage, heal 2 damage.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay. Ow. I mean, it is what it is.
Thank you, Arkham, again.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to draw the essence of the dream, but...
Oh, well, you would have... I imagine you would have committed it. Well, no, actually, sorry. I guess I should ask.
Not really.
No, because you were already up 4. Right.
Yeah.
Well, now you keep it.
Yeah.
That's good.
We'll just finish him off.
Yeah, exactly.
Next turn.
In the enemy phase, Luther charges in to join us, but Glenn is already back on his feet, directing the dagger straight towards Joe. In a heroic move, the large German shepherd that looks exactly like the one from Arkham dives in front of him, taking the damage and the horror, and dealing a damage back to Glenn Conroy. Whoop.
Nice.
Bye-bye. Tragic. Now this guy. Woof. Oh, and he is... I always forget how aloof works. He attacked... Yeah, I'm trying to remember how this works now. Because I always forget if it's... He doesn't... Yeah, he doesn't automatically engage investigators, so...
Yeah.
He attacks, which means... I'm just going to double check how this works again. Enemy attacks...
I thought going to hit or not. It was a not.
No, so he definitely attacks, and then I think he disengages because he's aloof again. Yeah, because he exhausts after making his attack.
Oh, right.
But I'm just trying to remember.
Exhaust enemies, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's weird because he exhausts, but only for the end of the enemy phase, and then in upkeep readies again. But I'm just trying to remember how this works. Enemy engagement, enemy phase. I don't know, man. Okay. When they attack, they deal a thing. They exhaust the enemy. It doesn't say disengage the enemy. That's what I can't remember. Just gonna quickly check. Sorry, so talk amongst yourselves, I suppose.
I am looking it up as well. Just trying to...
There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Any evaded enemy automatically disengages. No, that's evaded, though. That's different.
Yeah. I think it stays. Like,
okay.
It's engaged already.
Yeah.
As far as I can see. It's only one action to re-engage anyway, so...
Yeah, you know what? Because this is the big question I had about Innsmouth, when Silas was going through the town of Innsmouth. A lot of those deep ones have effects that say, when it engages you, something bad happens. So I was like, wait a minute. So if I evade it... if I fight it and then it attacks, does it re-engage me and essentially attack again? And everyone was like, no, that's not how that works. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're good then. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just responding to a texto, but we've got to deal with Glenn Conroy at the same time. He's stabbing down. Upkeep. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. Love to play that out.
Higher education goes away and logical reasoning goes away. Cool.
All right. So upkeep has happened. I think we're good to go. Oh yeah, I wanted to put more evidence on dissection tools. just keeping it real. Oh, the traitorous treasurer gets a resource as he starts to pull away. He's managed to sort of avoid being acidified and stabs at Joe, so he's starting to escape as we go to 3 out of 5 doom, and we draw our encounter cards.
Right. Warp stonework. If there is no copy of warp stonework attached to the location, attach warp stonework to the location. Otherwise, warp stonework gains surge.
Oh.
Non-Euclidean. Instead, take 1 damage horror and move to any location except connecting location.
That's right. So the hall has sort of started to stretch and twist around the actions of the treasurer here, revealed to be a traitor. I just wanted to say hello. We've got the Nerdy Filmmaker in chat. Nerdy Filmmaker, hello. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you with us. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
There you go. We've got our librarian and our PI here investigating a Masonic temple. H. They're trying to uncover traitors in their ranks. And we've done a pretty good job so far, but there's an awful lot of death and destruction going on. I have to draw an encounter card as well. Ooh! This is... Now, I can't pronounce this, but I'm just going to assume it's yeah, but I don't know what the... If that's a hard A sound or a... whatever it is.
It's basically yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ugh.
Yeah.
Look at that art. I love it. Nerdy, that's great, man. Can you tell us what you're working on? Sometimes it's secret. Oh my god, amazing. Okay, so attach it to the current agenda. At the end of the round, we have to decide, add a doom, or discard the top 3 cards of their deck and draw each weakness discarded, which would become 4 because of the effect on the thing.
Yeah, that's basically fine. Well, you only draw a weakness from the tree.
Yes, that's a good point. Action, test will 5. This test gets -1 difficulty for every 5 cards in your discard pile. I have 13, you have 21! So that's fun.
I might just...
You might just try to do that, at some point.
Yeah, it's...
Oh shit. My name's Julian, but when I get angry, and when I get hungry, I become Cthulian. Oh my god. The chanting across all of the Masonic temple begins to grow louder and louder and louder. Oh my god. Investigation phase. So this fires at the end of the round. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here, Crosshair. There's a lot happening on the board. We got this traitor. We gotta find... we got this traitor to deal with. We've got this... Ia to deal with. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. Don't ask me how to pronounce the rest. Classic.
We need to get 2 more clues for the last one still, but we need to... maybe you should start this turn and see if we get rid of Glenn.
That's it. I need to shoot this son of a gun, for sure. Which is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, right. You do have a...
I got a bullet. Let's do it. Joe's going to, as what's his? Damn it, Glenn Conroy. As Glenn starts to rush towards the door, strange space warping dagger in hand, Joe says, shit, I knew that I had 1 left for a reason, pulls out his Colt, aims, squeezes the trigger. 5 combat, 6 with the Colt. That's
enough.
Pretty good, yeah. I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Looks good to me. Blam! And Glenn collapses in a pool of blood.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. If a traitor enemy leaves play, you must immediately advance. Second strike. The second traitor falls back with a gurgle, twitching and attempting to summon his strength for one final struggle, but failing. The infiltrators continue to stalk the halls in the silence after his death, which means there is yet another commander to quash. In your campaign log, under cultists killed, record the name of the enemy who was defeated. Glenn Conroy, Glenny C. All right. Our new act says, Act 4A, 3rd degree. Just how many of the Freemason elite have been chipping away at its foundations the whole time? Free trigger. You're absolutely right, Crosshair. Spend 6 clues, draw the top card of the traitor deck, yada yada. It's the same text, and we need, as you mentioned, 2 more clues.
I have an idea.
That's a good thing to have. Oh, yep, sorry.
Yeah, what stonework might come in handy again? Thank you.
As it does sometimes.
Because Daisy can skip right to the Renaissance Hall. get the 2 clues. And then we only have one thing to deal with.
That's not bad. And Joe has the ability to, like, teleport with the pendant of the queen, or fire one more clue if we need it, or maybe evade an enemy.
Oh.
He's got a little juice left in that pendant, which is maybe good.
Right, and it's a fast one because then also Joe could jump into the Renaissance Hall, try to get a clue, and then get a clue with the pendant.
Yes, I would love to play another weapon is the thing, because I know that I know it costs an action, but I'm a little light on weapons right now.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I don't know what I'm going to do with my last action, but finally out of bullets, having burned through his extra ammo, Joe does have a knife. I just want to check. I think I have enough hands for all of this. 2 hands for the Colts. I have 2 additional hand slots for weapons. Oh no, so that's the Colts. So that's the 2 extra hand slots for that. 1 normal hand slot is a knife. 2 extra tools from the Colts.
Oh, right.
And the dissection.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So I've got enough hands for all of these things. It's insane. But last action, I could move. What is the
That's
best
the
play?
Masonic library, because there might be easier clues there.
Well, except that if I move,
Ah.
warp stonework means I have to go somewhere else.
1, 2, 3. Oh, but the grand staircase lets you move. So if we both go to the Renaissance Hall, in the worst case, we can yeet out here in one
You're right,
turn.
yeah. Move, which is a free move, and then resign. That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's the right play. I'm going to do that then. I'm going to move. Warp Stonework says, so as Joe attempts to move out and find the library for additional archives, instead, the stonework and hallways warp and twist around him. I have to take a damage or a horror and move to another location, which is not connected, which I did. I will take a horror. And that is the end of my turn. Yeah, I'm going to keep Pendant of the Queen so we can do something fast if we need to.
Oh,
So-
yeah, like the clue.
Yeah, exactly.
The last clue from the Renaissance Hall.
Can I discard weaknesses at
can.
random? I think I can, actually. Just need to check something. But please feel free to take your turn. It won't necessarily
Yeah,
matter.
it's pretty simple. I think I'm gonna stick to the plan
Okay.
and move out into the Renaissance Hall. Oh, hi, Joe.
Oh,
Again.
hi. Oh, you also came this way, huh?
Apparently.
Osab's not wrong. It feels right, but not necessarily for the heroes.
And then 2 actions left. If I get 2 clues, we can straight up use them to find the last traitor. And
Yes.
then
And see if he's close.
next turn,
basically.
next turn will be at 4, which means we have 3 actions both. And we'll see what happens. Because if it's, say, Rodney Duval, then we have no chance of getting him.
Yeah. We also have the Ia treachery. I had forgotten about it. It's absolutely horrific. Maybe we just deal with the problem, yeah.
Yeah, we can't add Doom because it'll advance straight away. But yeah, if I get the clues, at least we can maybe find out. Because if it's Paul Kellerman, like I suspected, then we might be able to kill him.
Yes, you're right. It's a possibility. It's a little touch and go for sure, but it's a possibility. They've had 4 health so far, I think, both of them. Yeah.
So I'm at 5 to 5. It's not great, but I'm going to investigate.
Investigate.
Essence of the Dream. Yeah, I have to. Glimpse the unthinkable.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, don't forget to pay your toll, so if you have anything that costs resources, don't bother.
Yep.
Insular suspects fires, causing us to pay resources for clues, which is blech, but that's okay.
That's 9 against 5.
Even more from Renaissance Hall, yeah. It's nice. It's a lot. It's done.
Oh, right. I don't need to then use Essence of the Dream.
Ah, yeah, right. Of
because
course, yeah. That'll be
that's good.
4 intellect icons. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. 9 against 5. Cool.
Hey.
So, that's 1. And then on the next one, Essence of the Dream. And let's just...
Oh,
Daisy's
bye,
still
Daisy.
here. So another 9 to 5. Looking from 9 to 5.
Okay.
Thank you. So that's our clues.
Okay.
So if we spend them, the enemy is gonna move towards us in the enemy phase.
That is true, because they have been hunters so far.
Yeah.
Which...
So
that seems like a good idea.
let's just caution to the wind, because we have a backup plan for next turn.
We do! I say we just go for it. You're right. We've got enough information. Having used the warp stonework, it seems to always lead back to this Renaissance Hall. The symbols and the imagery start to come together for the two of them, and they realize who the final traitor must be. We're going to guess Paul Kellerman?
Yeah.
Ah!
Rodney Duval.
Rodney
but
fucking
of
Duval.
course.
Oh my god. The expert assassin! Okay. I'm going to read his text in a moment here, but I'm going to read his story first. From deep within the Masonic temple, Rodney Duval's posture loosens, but his sharp eyes stay fixed on you. Through a hole in the wall, I guess. A glint of malice beginning to rise behind them. His slight smile remains, but he says nothing as he takes a handgun from his coat pocket. He is ready, eager even, to end this deception and resume his duty of wholesale murder. It's got the same effect. We have 2 rounds, but we actually have way less than that anyway. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually this is going to put a thing there. So, Rodney Duval, the expert assassin, is a 4/6/3 hunter with retaliate. Forced, after he attacks, even if it was cancelled, he disengages and moves to a connecting location. Because he's an assassin, you see. He moves in and shoots and then disappears.
Right. Well, that's it then. We know the last person, and
Yep. I think in the enemy phase, Rodney begins to hunt. Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
end of the round.
Yeah, that'll go off very shortly.
Upkeep, yeah.
Luther comes up through that same warped stonework to join Daisy and Joe as Rodney Duval's killer smile takes him into the grand banqueting hall. That's the enemy phase. So we go back to upkeep. Oh, okay.
So I have to throw away deduction, and I'm gonna throw away Arcane Enlightenment.
Okay. With Rodney continuing to sort of like gather power from the cultists and their chanting, we're now at the end of the round, so we either add a doom to the agenda, which we do not, or each investigator discards the top 3 cards of their deck and draws each weakness discarded.
Oh, discard 4.
Correct. 1, 2,
Connect
3,
the dots.
4. Wow. I lost a
Okay.
lot of stuff, but nothing I needed. I mean, nothing terrible. Oh, those cryptic writings are so cryptic.
Yeah, that's not a draw, and it's during your turn. But yeah, I draw weakness, paradox.
Ooh, mysterious.
It's not hidden, so.
Oh no, right. Question before we move into the mythos phase here. I know we have 1 round left. I just need to take a quick break, but I'm wondering if we should do that before or after the mythos phase.
There's still the story left and all that, so I could also use a toilet break, so.
Okay, then that's what we're going to do,
Right
team.
back.
We're going to be right back, and we're going to see how we can resolve this Masonic temple. See if Rodney Duval's assassins manage to end us. Here on Doom. We'll see you in a moment. Hello again, and welcome back to Doomed, not-so-solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Daisy and Joe, now in Philadelphia outside of the town of Arkham, have pursued their leads here to the Grand Masonic Temple, the largest in America at the time. Possibly still today, I don't know. Their hunt for the traitors within the Freemasons has led them to uncover many strange things. Certainly many enemies, many sleeper agents, assassins, cultists, and 2 traitors. Hector Sutton, the profane theorist, once the deputy grand master, and Glenn Conroy, the treasurer, but in fact, a keeper of relics. And now their investigation has caused them to unveil the last traitor as well. Rodney Duval, who was, I can't remember, the Junior Grand Warden. The Junior Grand Warden is quietly observant, but he has a talent for spotting you among the crowds. Such scrutiny could be a major obstacle if he is indeed against you. Rodney Duval, the expert assassin, is now on the hunt. Everything else, all the other members of the conspiracy, have been done away with. And yeah, that's what's going on. Welcome back, Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, I just realized that your survival knife doesn't do extra damage.
So I think if I had a weapon that did 2 damage, I could, in theory, teleport there with the Pendant of the Queen and then shoot him 3 times. But you're right, I don't. I could teleport, stab, and then in the enemy phase, maybe defeat him. It's not great.
Yeah, that would happen before the agenda.
It's true. And before the end of the round. It's true too.
Daisy would have to move, then free action move, then move to the banqueting hall and manage to hit Rodney for 1.
1 damage, which is possible. We'll have to do our mythos phase, of course, first before anything else, as the conspirators continue to unravel all of the mysteries here in the Masonic Temple. We go to 4 out of 5 Doom. The chanting grows louder, and we draw our encounter cards.
Delusional dreamer.
Ruh-roh.
Engage with prey. Investigator with the most encounter cards in his or her hand.
Strange man has once again appeared, shivering, dripping wet in the doorway of the Renaissance Hall. He's pursued Joe from Arkham, or so it would seem.
Ooh. It does engage you, so...
Oh, yep, you're right. You take a damage or a horror for each encounter card in hand. I have 2, so I will take 2 horror. I have 7 sanity with my dissection tool, so I think that's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I take damage because you might have to move with the delusional dreamer in tow.
I see. Yeah, and you're right, and that kind of does attacks of opportunity. It's a good point. Okay.
What? Oh, during the enemy phase.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I wish. Yeah, it'd be good. The horror kind of starts to creep up on Joe as the man lurches towards him. I'm going to draw hyperbolic sigils. Attach it to the location with the highest shroud that does not have hyperbolic sigils attached. That's got to be, yeah, the Asian Hall. It's got to be, right? Which is 6 shroud. So it has a non-Euclidean effect, but that doesn't affect us right now. So the sigils glow with strange power as Rodney Duval laughs, or cackles, perhaps. Hey! Welcome. Welcome indeed, TT. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Just a quick sum up. We're still in the Masonic Temple. We've uncovered another traitor and offed them. We've uncovered the final traitor, an assassin. But we're, I believe, as we get back to the investigation phase, we're one doom away from the end of the round, or the end of the agenda. And we're not quite sure what we're about to do yet. Oh, fuck me.
Right.
Oh, Joe. Well, that, you know what, that was gonna come up at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's kind of a sucky last draw.
It is. So, Crosshair, we've got a couple of options, right? In theory, we could try to... You're right, we could leave the clue on Renaissance Hall. You have 2 actions to move, 1 action to hit. I would probably teleport and try to stab him a bunch, and then try to stab him in the enemy phase.
So you might get 3 damage in.
Yes.
And then I get 1 damage in a perfect situation.
Yes. And then in the enemy phase, he attacks. Before resolving the attack, I exhaust the Survival Knight, fight him again to deal the last 2 damage.
Yeah, so we need to succeed in 5 attacks.
Against 4 combat, which is like, you know, not ideal, I would say. The... oh, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I'd be at 4 to 4, so...
Yeah, that's not, that's not great for sure. The other option is I deal with my unsolved case, get rid of... Okay. Yeah, hang on. So
you can...
Oh, God, thank you, TT. You're right. Of course, I forgot to switch back over. Oh, TT. Thanks for letting me know, bud. Sorry, Crosshair, yeah.
Technically... Get a clue, get rid of unsolved case, use the pendant to move to Broad Street entrance, and resign.
Yeah, I could even get rid of unsolved case without having... We talked about this, right? I can still pay for it, so the first effect doesn't fire. I don't have any clues right now, so it would just be removed from the game.
Oh, right, you can first remove it and get a clue and then teleport out, because Daisy can just
walk
out. Yeah
do we I feel more confident trying that. It sucks that our assassin is after us, but you know, he is an assassin, so he would be good at surviving, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't think we have a way to, because it would mean that we'd have to succeed in, as I said, 5 attacks, and I'd be at 4 to 4 on the attack, so...
Yeah, and the cultists are -4, the skulls are also -4, I have to just update that. Yeah, it's not ideal. But...
maybe for the longest time we'll at least survive.
Well, that's it, right? And I have a feeling like we can actually get this last victory point, and that would be quite nice for us. So I will... Oh, yeah, and then this fucking guy. Whatever, I'm not going to die, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just... well, it's horror and... Oh, right, engages you.
Yeah, so just the 1 horror per attack of opportunity. But I think if you're down with the plan to try to get this last clue, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, it's either that or... so you said that the unsolved case doesn't use an action.
It does use an action, but it doesn't.
Ah, right.
But I think oh no, I do still have enough actions to do everything that I want to do.
Yeah. So get rid of unsolved case.
Yeah.
Try to get the clue.
Yep. And then teleport out.
As a free action. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Daisy will just stroll out.
Just walking out with her books and all of this. This is Joe seeing the strange kind of delusional, the delusional dreamer, the man dripping wet, covered in kelp and like seawater. He realizes that this man is perhaps not real, but perhaps only a figment of his tortured, twisted perspective. I'm going to remove unsolved case from the game. It's an action, so I take an attack of opportunity. A horror? That's fine. Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that did we trigger the... Yeah, I think so.
We did, yeah. We discarded a bunch of cards. You got Cryptic Writings was one of them for you, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, second action. I'm going to investigate. It's an attack of opportunities. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm gonna... How many cards can I throw at you?
One.
One. Okay, I'll have one.
Well, intellect icons count double here, so...
Oh.
I am investigating at 4 book, 5, 6 with magnifying glass, 7, 8 with your committed card, and I will be well prepared to add another 2 intellect. The matching icons on... Actually, so you get plus X skill value. Yeah, it's not committing a card, so I get plus 2 from the Colts, which takes me up to, I think, say 10? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yeah. Right. Let's get a clue! Oh! Joe. I will move an insight event. Why not? Right? Actually, do I have any? I'm not going to. Never mind. The unsolved case may remain unsolved for now, but seeing this dreamer coming in, Joe decides to fight fire with fire, as it were, and reaches up towards the strange pendant around his neck. I'm spending a charge from it, which removes it from the game, and I teleport. He sort of wishes himself to be out and vanishes, reappearing outside at Broad Street, where I will, last action, resign.
Daisy looks at the disappearing Joe and all that they found here, and looks at laboratory assistant and Luther, and, well, it was a pleasure to visit, but I think we'll be going now.
I think so, yeah.
Just moves along casually to the grand staircase, which then a bit hurriedly walks down to the downstairs grand staircase, moves to the Broad Street entrance, and resigns.
Okay. We did it.
Yeah. One more turn would have been nice.
That's it, for sure. We don't have...
It was the acid fail.
Well, that's definitely not ideal. That's for sure. That was unfortunate for sure.
And at the end of my turn, I guess I'll reveal Quantum Paradox and take 1 damage, but I'll use Deny Existence.
Just for funsies, you know? The chanting from within grows louder and louder still, but Daisy and Joe are already far away, figuring out their next move, I imagine. So resigning doesn't advance the agenda or the act, because the act says if a traitor leaves play, you must advance.
Right.
And we've resigned before the end of the round, which is when the traitor would leave play, and yeah, so...
Also the agenda doesn't advance.
And the agenda doesn't advance. So I am going to go into the resolutions and see if no resolution was reached. We resigned. If they resigned or were defeated before Act 2, lol, go to Resolution 1. Otherwise, go to Resolution 2. So, Resolution 2. For better or for worse, you swatted the hornet's nest. Despite being overwhelmed, you forced the traitors' hands and exposed their identities to the rest of the Grand Lodge. You exit the Masonic Temple and retreat to a safe distance, while you compose yourself and keep watch. Gradually, the other Freemasons make their way outside, dazed and confused, but there is no sign of the infiltrators or their cult allies. You assume that with their preparations and connections, that they had other escape routes. After an hour of patiently gathering the remaining Masons, you head back inside to survey the aftermath. In your campaign log, record the investigators exposed the traitors.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we did, exactly. Okay. Then, what else? Draw each card in the traitor deck. Fine. In the campaign log under Cultists Alive, record the name of each card drawn and each traitor asset still in play. So, Robert Duval, is that his name? Rodney Duval is alive. Okay. For each name listed under Cultists Killed, mark 1 notice in the campaign log. So that's two more notice, which brings us up to 8. We have drawn much notice from the cult. Skip to Resolution 4. If nothing else was clarified tonight, you finally have some insight into the agents and madmen who have shadowed your recent actions. They prey on the unsuspecting, and those vulnerable to influence through strange dreaming, but you can now take steps to guard yourself against their methods. They will find you more a thorn in their side than ever before. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X. Each investigator earns 1 bonus experience if Luther Lynch in defense of the Order was in play at the end of the scenario, which he definitely is. Yeah. Great.
So, really? 2 from, 1 from Hector, 1 from Glenn, 1 from Luther. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Corinthian Hall 4, Renaissance Hall 5. Asian Hall 6. Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, right. It's a bonus, because Luther is basically in the victory.
Yes, he's as if he's a victory point. Keeping him alive, that is. And I think... I don't know, like, it's hard to know kind of what scenarios give how much experience, but 6 feels good to me. Like, I've played scenarios that give kind of, 2 or 3, and that's really skimpy, and then 4 or 5 is, like, good, so I think 6 is quite nice. If any investigator earned 6 or more experience during this scenario, mark... Oh, so 2 notice in your campaign log. 1 from earning 3 or more XP, and 1 from earning 6 or more XP. All right, a couple more. Well, we've drawn their notice. We're up to 10. And then it says, if the investigators failed to stop the traitor's plan, skip to scenario 5. Otherwise, which we did not. That's not anywhere in there. Otherwise, proceed to interlude a house divided.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Interviewing the entire order of Freemasons would be unlikely to give you the results you need, so you narrow your scope to the remaining officers. You escort the 3 men to one of the temple's conference room, where they sit morosely, contemplating the evening's events. You can tell by the deeply disturbed looks and lack of words that this has been their first exposure to eldritch powers, compounded by the betrayal of their lifelong associates. There will be a time for explanation on your part, but right now, they need to tell you everything they know about the traitors. So, if Ulysses Hill is not listed under Cultists Alive or Cultists Killed, read the Grand Master's statement. I assume there's going to be 1 per person, and there are 3 left. The Grand Master's statement. Ulysses clenches his fist tightly before pounding the table in anger. I'm a damned fool, letting this evil sprout under my very nose. They made a mockery of this institution, of the very oaths they took to work for humanity's future for the sake of this profanity. He pounds his fist on the table once more to punctuate his anger before slumping back in his chair. His face tightens in concentration until it smooths again with sudden realization. Profanity. That name they spoke, I've heard it before. He tries to focus his thoughts, waving you away while he thinks. Hector Sutton is listed under cultists killed. Wallace Thorpe is not listed under either, so we read the Senior Grand Warden's statement. Wallace sits stiffly and grimly in deep contemplation. I'm not a man who concerns himself with human behavior, unless that behavior concerns itself with me. The only unusual behavior that I recall are the questions I was asked about theoretical science and mathematics, bending space and other such nonsense. He sighs in frustration. I'm an architect, not some crackpot theorist, and yet they insisted. They were highly specific about... Wallace's voice trails off at the end as he returns to thinking, focused on his memories. So Rodney Duval is alive, Glenn Conroy is killed. Paul Kellerman, the Grand Secretary's statement. The Grand Secretary's statement. Paul wrings his hands idly and bites his lower lip nervously. I can't imagine how they managed to coordinate this inside the lodge without my knowing. Nothing even 1/4 so large has ever escaped my notice before. They must have organized this somewhere else. It's the only explanation I can accept. But where? He grits his teeth as he thinks until an idea drops his jaw. Those telephone calls. They have to be connected. Those three even told me to let them handle the calls themselves. That should have been my first indication. Your discussion has certainly jogged their memories. Almost at once, the three men all point to a single location, Singapore. This plot will come to a head halfway around the world. Moreover, the other comments from the remaining officers add to the evidence you've gathered since yesterday, giving you some idea of what the cultists' plan is. The Masonic traitors serve Cthulhu, a dread entity that has existed since before humanity and haunts the dreams of susceptible people as it stirs in its dreaming death. It once nearly awakened some years ago, when its island tomb of Relia rose from beneath the Pacific, but it quickly sank, taking Cthulhu back with it. It seems that the monster's devotees are not content to wait the hundreds or thousands of years it would take for the island to rise again. You have seen for yourself the spatial warping property that the strange stone holds. The involvement of the architects can only lead you to a single conclusion. They intend to construct something from that stone that will warp space to bring Relia back to the surface and awaken their master. You announce to the three officers your intentions to pursue the traitors to Singapore, though you leave out the details they likely couldn't cope with. They voice some discontentment at you continuing to meddle with Freemason affairs without being initiated, but they have little choice. You've proven yourself capable, where they have failed. The officers cannot offer you much direct assistance while they attempt to put their house back in order, but they offer you a symbolic token, an icon formerly belonging to one of the traitors, the symbol of the Masonic Order. The Grand Lodge of Philadelphia may not be the only Masonic lodge to have been compromised by the cultists, but if the lodge in Singapore can assist you, this symbol will convince them to help. Add a tablet token to the Chaos Bag for the remainder of the campaign. I'm just going to go do that. Boop. Yikes. Any one investigator may choose to add Compass of the Grand Lodge to their deck. It does not count towards their deck size. And let's have a look at it. It is, of course, set aside. So let's have a look, because then we are proceeding. Compass of the Grand Lodge, Manifold Measures. It's a 2-cost asset. It's an item. It's a tool. It's got an intellect, an agility, and a wild icon. Square your actions by the square of virtue with all mankind. So, reaction. When Compass of the Grand Lodge enters the play, choose one. Hand, arcane, accessory. You gain one additional slot of the chosen type. A reaction. When you play an asset that fills a slot of that type, exhaust the compass. You get +1 to each of your skills until the end of the round. Without knowing what it did, I was going to insist on taking it because I feel like, having a tool, and Joe would want to have it to convince people. But I'm looking at what it does, Crosshair, and like if you can put this down early, right, it would give you an extra hand, and you'd be able to, when you play something into a hand slot, you get +1 to each of your skills. Like it just seems so good. You always have stuff in your juggling in your hand slots.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, I guess Daisy will once again take it to the museum.
Yeah, I mean, look, hey, if you don't want it, I'm more than happy to take it, of course, but I just feel like...
Yeah, I think I rotate, like, hand slots quite often.
That's it. Every time you put something down into a hand slot, +1 to all of your skills. You don't have to choose hand either, right? You could choose... I just don't know how many arcane or accessories you have, but it's still good.
One.
Great, even. Yeah, they're also so not as good then. But +1 hand slot in and of itself is amazing, so...
Yeah, tome stake hand slots anyway, so...
Exactly. And this brings us to the end of Scenario 4, Crumbling Masonry. Next time on Doomed, Scenario 5, Across Dreadful Waters, as I believe Daisy and Joe, I guess, are climbing onto a boat to travel halfway around the goddamn world. But we've got XP to spend, etc.
Ironic, because we are halfway.
What do you mean? What?
Halfway through the campaign.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, we're halfway through the... Yeah, and we're going halfway around the world. Well, there you go. So, half here, half around the world. I like that. And that's it. That's the end of the scenario for today. I'm of course disappointed we couldn't deal with the assassin, but it's quite nice that the assassin was able to... Well, it's not nice, but he's still out there, and that's a little scary.
Yeah. And
yeah.
We did quite good. Also, achievement popped up that I've been playing Tabletop Simulator for 200 hours.
Oh, perfecto. Well, that must be about the amount of Doomed we've played.
Yeah, I was about to say that it's about 98% of Doomed.
I think so, yeah. I think so indeed. Oh boy,
I haven't played anything else. Yeah. It's almost our 200-hour anniversary.
Yay! Well, I just put up episode 110, I think was our part 1. So like we're now, some of those are of course, solo campaigns that I did or whatever, but like that's over 100 episodes of Doomed. You can so put your checks in the mail.
200 hours makes sense.
Exactly. But that is all for today. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Doomed. As the Crosshair is posting, of course, we've got streams throughout the week, and you can check the Discord for all of those. Tomorrow is Punchy Saturday. Drew Crew and Doomed. Doomed may be at the earlier time again, but I'll double check with the Crosshair, and we'll plan that. Sunday, another episode of Montreal by Moonlight, our Werewolf 5th campaign. So yeah, you're definitely going to want to check all of that out. And you know what? In just about an hour on Discord, if you join, we're going to be having a rewatch of the most recent episode of Montreal by Moonlight, episode 10. It was 10. On Discord. You can join the watch party, watch it live, chat with people who are there. It's a great time. Jump on down. And that's it. So I want to thank you, Crosshair, for joining me today.
Yo. And to all for joining.
Exactly. And to all for joining. And I think that's it. Thoughts, feelings?
We did good. We did some good here.
We've done some good today. And that's important. I think if you can't uncover the cultists in your own lives, at least try to uncover the cultists in your own mind. Those little cultists of fear or anger. Those little bad guys. And either read a book like Daisy or blow their brains out like Joe. What? We'll see. Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Good.
We'll see you next time on Doomed. Bye-bye.